On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Observe.
To watch or notice something carefully, often to gather information or insights, to take note of something or someone, to celebrate or commemorate a special event or occasion.
Examples:
Observe a tradition. Observe wildlife. It is important to observe safety procedures in the workplace to prevent accidents.
Constitute.
To be the essential or fundamental elements or parts of something, to establish, appoint, or assign someone to a particular office or position, to make up or compose something.
Examples:
Constitute a threat. Constitute a majority. The new regulations constitute a significant change in the industry standards.
Discuss.
To talk about or examine in detail, through conversation or debate, to exchange ideas, opinions, or information on a particular topic.
Examples:
Discuss options. Discuss solutions. We need to discuss the next steps for the project during our meeting tomorrow.
Debate.
A formal discussion or argument of opposing viewpoints, often to persuade others to adopt a specific position. A public discussion, often on an issue of current interest, in which participants offer opinions and differing perspectives.
Examples:
Debate topic. Debate competition. The debate over climate change continues to be a hot topic in politics.
Tyranny.
A form of government in which a single ruler has absolute power, often exercised cruelly and oppressively, the arbitrary or oppressive exercise of power or control over others.
Examples:
Brutal tyranny. Tyranny of the majority. The country was ruled by a tyranny that oppressed its citizens.
Assume.
To think or accept something to be true without having proof of it, to take or begin to have power, to begin to exhibit a specific quality or appearance.
Examples:
Assume a lousy attitude to his boss. Assume an important role. The following example assumes that the capacity of each battery is the same.
Doxing.
The act of searching for and publishing private or identifying information about a particular individual on the Internet, often with malicious intent.
Examples:
The potential risk of doxing. Laws against doxing. The celebrity became a victim of doxing, resulting in her personal details being publicly revealed.
Realm.
A domain of activity, interest, or knowledge.
Examples:
Public realm. Beyond the realm of possibility. Her passions are in the realm of real-world political affairs.
Unquestioning.
Accepting, believing, or obeying without hesitation or doubt, uncritical or unthinking, not inclined to challenge or question authority or beliefs.
Examples:
Unquestioning acceptance, unquestioning loyalty. Her unquestioning obedience to her parents' rules sometimes led to trouble.
Spirit.
The part of a person which is the seat of their mind, feelings, and character rather than their physical body, the general atmosphere of a place or situation, and the effect that it has on people.
Examples:
Spirit and the letter of the law. An indomitable spirit. Despite their tragic loss, the family is showing great spirit.
Critic.
Someone who expresses opinions about the quality of books, music, etc.
Examples:
Art critic, severe critic. Advocates for legal reform hear less harsh words from their critics.
Mobilize.
To make something ready for action or use, to organize people or resources for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Mobilize cooperation. Mobilize a stiff joint. The military mobilized troops to the border.
Capitalism.
An economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit.
Examples:
Advance capitalism. Under the umbrella of capitalism. Capitalism also guarantees intellectual property rights and thus promotes innovation.
Democracy.
A form of government in which the people have the authority to deliberate and decide legislation, or to choose governing officials to do so.
Examples:
Democracy advocate. Principles of democracy. Democracy often entails inclusive capitalism as well.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Polity.
A form or system of government or administration, a political organization or entity.
Examples:
National polity. Civic polity. A local council governs the polity of the small town.
Exception.
Something that is not included in a general rule or pattern, a person or thing that is excluded or stands apart from others.
Examples:
Make an exception. Without exception. She was the exception to the rule, as she managed to graduate college in only 2 years.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Participate.
To take part in something.
Examples:
Participate fully in conversation. Participate in the program. The majority of students actively participated in the college's intramural sports program.
Acknowledge.
To accept or admit the existence, reality, or truth of something. To accept that someone or something has a particular authority or quality. To express obligation, thanks, or gratitude for someone's help, commitment, etc.
Examples:
Acknowledge the deed. Acknowledge his help. He never acknowledged his fault.
Consensus.
General agreement or accord in the judgment or opinion reached by a group as a whole.
Examples:
A public consensus. Consensus among scientists. The two parties have reached a consensus.
Fragile.
Delicate or easily broken or damaged.
Examples:
Politically fragile nation. Fragile ecosystem. The vase was made of fragile ceramic and easily broke when it was dropped.
Provisional.
Temporary, serving as a means of satisfying a need or requirement until a more permanent solution can be found.
Examples:
A provisional treaty. Provisional measure. The provisional agreement was reached pending further negotiation.
Globe.
The earth or world, mainly used to emphasize its vastness.
Examples:
Terrestrial globe. Around the globe. His final goal is to sail around the globe.
Repress.
To restrain or control by force, to suppress feelings or memories.
Examples:
Cannot repress laughter. Repress gene expression. He repressed the memories of his traumatic childhood.
Organization.
A group of people who work together for a shared purpose.
Examples:
Organization chart. Agricultural organization. She's the president of a large international organization.
Concerned.
Feeling worry or interest about something, showing interest or attention.
Examples:
Persons concerned. Concerned citizen. I am concerned about the safety of the children playing in the park.
Denial.
A statement that something is not true or does not exist.
Examples:
State of denial. An absolute denial. She gave us a categorical denial of the scandal.
Justice.
The quality of being fair and reasonable and treating people equally according to their due.
Examples:
Criminal justice. Justice of heaven. The judge's ruling was based on the principles of justice and fairness.
Provision.
The act of providing or supplying something, a clause in a document or law that specifies a particular requirement or condition.
Examples:
Provision for loan losses. Administrative provision. The new law includes provisions for increased penalties for repeat offenders.
Aspect.
One part or feature of a situation, problem, subject, etc.
Examples:
Non-technical aspects of the job. Aspects of social, political, and economic life. His professional experience includes all aspects of media production.
Extract.
A short passage taken from a book, piece of music, etc., a substance obtained from something through a specific process. Verb, to obtain from something or to remove something by effort or force.
Examples:
A brief extract from the book. Botanical extract. Anesthetize the gum before extracting the teeth.
Industrious.
Hardworking, diligent, and persistent in effort.
Examples:
Industrious worker. Industrious student. He was known to be very industrious and would often work late into the night.
Diamond.
A precious stone made from pure carbon, typically transparent and colorless, but possibly tinted in various colors, a shape or arrangement resembling the geometric form of a diamond.
Examples:
Diamond ring. Diamond necklace. The engagement ring was adorned with a large, sparkling diamond.
Smuggle.
To import or export something or someone without paying appropriate customs duties, often illegally.
Examples:
Smuggle drugs. Smuggle herself out of a country. He was able to smuggle a gun inside the prison.
Emerald.
Having a deep, rich green color, like that of an emerald gemstone.
Examples:
An emerald gem. Emerald ring. The emerald green dress caught everyone's eye at the party.
Timber.
The wood of trees cut and prepared for construction.
Examples:
Timber construction. Standing timber. The house uses sturdy timber and has withstood many storms.
Poorest.
Having the least wealth or resources.
Examples:
Poorest of the poor. Poorest area. The poorest countries in the world often have the highest rates of malnutrition.
Assist.
To help someone in doing anything.
Examples:
Assist a patient. Assist his goal. Please assist her with the furniture relocation.
Shock.
A strong feeling or physical reaction to a sudden and unexpected event or experience, especially something unpleasant.
Examples:
Death from shock. Shock resistant. He got an electric shock at work.
Ugly.
Unattractive in appearance, unpleasant to look at.
Examples:
An ugly sound. Ugly building. The ugly truth was that he had been lying to her for months.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Doll.
A child's toy that typically represents a human figure, especially a young girl, an attractive woman, a woman who is subservient or passive.
Examples:
Plastic doll. Rag doll. The antique doll was worth thousands of dollars.
Supposedly.
According to what is generally assumed or believed without actually knowing for sure.
Examples:
Supposedly identical. Necklace supposedly made of pure gold. He is supposedly nominated for a Nobel Prize.
Incapable.
Unable to do, control, or achieve something.
Examples:
Drunk and incapable. Incapable of being resisted. He seems incapable of understanding what she says.
Creative.
Relating to or involving the use of skill and original and unusual ideas to create something.
Examples:
Creative writing. Barren of creative spirit. All the supervisor has to do is assign tasks that make his subordinates more creative.
Organically.
In a way that is related to or in accordance with the principles or practices of organic farming or living, naturally, without the use of synthetic or artificial substances.
Examples:
Evolve organically. Organically certified. The company prides itself on using organically grown ingredients in its products.
Sympathy.
The feeling of pity or compassion for someone else's suffering or misfortune, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another.
Examples:
Artificial sympathy. Sympathy for the victims. I feel deep sympathy for those who lost their homes and possessions in the natural disaster.
Implication.
Something that is inferred or indirectly stated, the act or fact of being involved in something.
Examples.
The implication in a crime. The implication of a word. His poem has a very significant implication.
Exclusion.
The act of keeping someone or something out or preventing them from participating in or being part of something.
Examples.
Gender exclusion. Exclusion criteria. The policy of exclusion has caused significant harm to marginalized communities.
Inclusive.
Including much or everything, and especially including stated limits, not excluding any of the people, things, ideas, etc. involved in something.
Examples.
A fully inclusive price. Inclusive education. The university has established a capacity for each nationality as part of its inclusive policy.
Premise.
A statement or proposition that is held to be true or from which a conclusion can be drawn.
Examples.
The major premise. Make a premise. The book's premise is that the main character must save the world from an impending disaster.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples.
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Regime.
The organization, a system, or method that is the governing authority of a political unit.
Examples.
A puppet regime. Exercise regime. Totalitarian regimes are less likely to innovate because they deprive individuals of economic incentives.
Responsible.
Answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management.
Examples.
Responsible action. Responsible for customer service. She's a responsible pet owner who ensures her dog gets enough exercise and a healthy diet.
Accountability.
The state of being responsible for one's actions or decisions, the obligation to explain, justify, or take ownership of one's actions or their consequences, the expectation of being answerable and liable for the outcomes of one's behavior or performance.
Examples.
Government accountability. Individual accountability. Activists questioned the company's accountability for the environmental impact of its operations.
Scope.
The range of one's perceptions, thoughts, or actions, or a subject that.
Examples.
Scope of a project. Have broad scope. The scope of human thought is diverse.
Economics.
The branch of social science that deals with the production, consumption, and transfer of goods and services.
Examples:
Welfare economics. Economics professor. His class will cover an introduction to agricultural economics.
Uncritical.
Not willing to criticize somebody/something or to judge whether somebody/something is right or wrong.
Examples:
An uncritical audience. Uncritical admirer. He was uncritical of his daughter's wrongdoing.
Transfer.
To move, pass, or change from one person, place, or situation to another.
Examples:
Transfer a file. Transfer power. She transferred the money from her savings account to her checking account.
Context.
The circumstances, facts, or conditions that surround a particular event, situation, or statement and that give it meaning.
Examples:
Historical context. Legal context. It's important to understand the context of a situation before making a decision.
Disaster.
An unexpected event or series of events that cause widespread damage, destruction, or loss of life.
Examples:
Global disaster. Disaster recovery. The disaster response team worked around the clock to aid those affected by the earthquake.
Elite.
Belonging to the wealthiest, most potent, best educated, or best trained group in a society.
Examples:
Earn elite status. Elite athlete. Very few educational elites go to Oxford or Cambridge.
Practically.
Almost or nearly.
Examples:
Practically constant. Practically impossible to find a parking spot. The store is practically empty.
Useless.
Not serving any useful purpose, having no practical result.
Examples:
Useless information. Useless in the kitchen. The old, rusty tools were now useless and had to be thrown away.
Dominate.
To have or control a lot of power and influence over somebody or something.
Examples:
Dominate possession. Dominate over the weak. The perspective of his right brain dominates his consciousness.
Mafia.
A secret criminal organization that engages in illegal activities such as gambling, extortion, racketeering, prostitution, and drug trafficking, typically maintains a strict code of loyalty, secrecy, and omerta, equals silence or non-cooperation with authorities.
Examples:
Organized crime mafia. Mafia activities. The boss of the mafia was finally caught after years on the run.
Recommendation.
An official suggestion that something is good or suitable for a particular purpose or job.
Examples.
Follow his recommendations. A letter of recommendation. We made a recommendation to the client.
Poverty.
The condition of being extremely poor.
Examples.
Poverty alleviation. The cycle of poverty. Many studies have investigated the relationship between poverty and academic achievement.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed, the way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples.
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Moving.
Causing strong emotions or feelings, especially sadness or sympathy.
Examples.
Moving experience. Moving ceremony. His moving speech about his struggles with addiction brought tears to the audience's eyes.
Impose.
To officially force a new law, tax, duty, etc. to be obeyed or received.
Examples.
Impose harsher sanctions. Impose tariffs. The problem with achievement tests is the narrowness they impose on students.
Framework.
The structural components of a building or object that support its weight and give it form, the underlying structure of a system, concept, or text.
Examples.
Legal framework. The framework of a house. He devised a new analytical framework to capture the phenomenon.
Mathematics.
The science dealing with the logic of quantities, shapes, spaces, and arrangement.
Examples.
A good grounding in mathematics. Mathematics competition. He has a flair for mathematics.
Enormous.
Extremely large or great.
Examples.
Enormous amount. Enormous potential. Shakespeare's output of poetry was enormous.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples.
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Endlessly.
In a way that continues for a long time or seems to have no end or limit.
Examples.
Repeat endlessly. Worry endlessly about our future. The procession of demonstrators was endlessly continuing.
Structure.
The way of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts, or a complex thing constructed of many parts.
Examples:
The structure of a machine. Structure and function of the brain. The organizational structure of startups is often flat and straightforward.
Simplify.
To make something more straightforward, more understandable, or easier to do.
Examples:
Simplify my life. Simplify the process. Please simplify your explanation for the children.
Function.
The purpose or use of an object, system, or process, a particular activity or operation that is designed to serve a specific purpose, a mathematical concept that describes a relationship between two sets of values, called the input and output sets. Verb, to operate or work in a specific way, or to perform a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
Function properly. Immune function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ that controls the body's function.
Writ.
A written legal order or command.
Examples:
A writ of summons. Issue a writ. He was served with a writ of eviction, giving him the notice to vacate the property.
Construct.
To build or create something, to assemble or combine different parts to form something whole.
Examples:
Construct a 3D image. Construct a dam. He constructs hypotheses that no mathematician has ever imagined before.
Index.
A list of items, such as names, subjects, or keywords, that is arranged in a particular order and is usually found at the end of a book or document, a number or symbol that indicates the value or level of something, such as a stock index or a temperature index.
Examples:
A full text index. Health index. The stock market index measures the performance of a group of stocks.
Comparative.
Relating to the comparison of different things or groups, denoting a degree of difference or comparison between two or more things, characterized by comparison or contrast.
Examples:
Comparative viewpoint. Comparative analysis. The comparative study of different cultures is fascinating and informative.
Propose.
To make a proposal, declare a plan for something.
Examples:
Propose the amendment. Propose changes. I want to propose a toast in honor of our long-standing relationship.
Legitimate.
Accordant with or allowed by law, lawful.
Examples:
A legitimate child. Legitimate question. Public political demonstrations are considered legitimate rights for citizens.
Monopoly.
Exclusive control or possession of something, especially an area of business, a board game in which players try to gain a monopoly on real estate.
Examples:
A government monopoly. Monopoly in distribution. The government strived to protect its tobacco monopoly.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Administer.
To oversee and control the operation or arrangement of something.
Examples:
Administer justice. Administer the funds. After the accident, 3 governmental bodies administer the company.
Finance.
The management of money, credit, banking, and investments, especially by a government or commercial organization, the branch of economics that studies the management of money and other assets.
Examples:
Finance Act. Manage my finances. Our company decided to hire an advisor who specializes in finance.
Invest.
To put money, effort, time, etc. into something to make a profit or achieve a result.
Examples:
Invest in stocks. Invest capital. The government should view children as national assets and actively invest in them.
Citizenship.
The status of being a member of a particular country.
Examples:
Dual citizenship. Citizenship rights. Her citizenship application was denied due to a technical error.
Infrastructure.
The basic systems, services, or features that are necessary for an organization or country, such as transport and power supplies.
Examples:
IT infrastructure. Infrastructure cost. Aging societies tend to require huge costs for infrastructure maintenance.
Tangible.
Real and concrete, able to be perceived, especially able to be touched, of business assets, having physical substance and intrinsic monetary value.
Examples:
Tangible assets. Produce tangible results. A problem that has been pointed out for years finally becomes tangible.
Intangible.
Not having physical form or substance, difficult to touch or grasp.
Examples:
Intangible asset. Intangible property rights. The intangible qualities of love and kindness are immeasurable.
Asset.
Something or someone that is useful or valuable quality, skill, etc., valuable property.
Examples:
Frozen assets. Liquid assets of the company. A sense of humor is an invaluable asset in this job.
Regulation.
An official rule made and maintained by a government or some other authority, the act of controlling or directing something according to a rule.
Examples:
A company regulation. Regulation by the government. The regulation approved by Congress was perfunctorily implemented.
Elaborate.
Containing a lot of carefully prepared and organized or many complicated and detailed parts.
Examples:
An elaborate hat. Elaborate Ponzi scheme. He proposed an elaborate program of public works.
Quest.
A long or challenging search for something.
Examples:
The quest for truth. On a quest for happiness. That adventurer traveled in quest of buried treasure.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Feasible.
Capable of being or likely to be made, done, or achieved.
Examples:
Economically feasible. Feasible assumption. It is not feasible and inefficient to complete many tasks at once.
Contrary.
Acting in opposition to what is expected or desired.
Examples:
The clear contrary. Contrary evidence. The two sides argued their points, but the judge ultimately sided with the contrary viewpoint.
Widespread.
Existing or happening in various places or among many people.
Examples:
Widespread use. Widespread fear of nuclear war. In medieval times, death punishment was widespread and socially accepted.
Argue.
To express differing opinions or points of view, often in a heated or contentious manner, to present a case or reasoning to persuade or convince others.
Examples:
Argue a case. Argue passionately. The couple began to argue over which restaurant to go to for dinner.
Unite.
To come or join together as one, to combine or merge separate elements, individuals, or groups into a single entity or whole, to form a union or alliance.
Examples:
Unite our resources. Unite against a common enemy. The school's diversity club worked to unite students from all different backgrounds.
Perspective.
A certain attitude towards something, a particular style of thinking about something.
Examples:
A perspective view. Perspective of the battle. His father's death changed his whole perspective on life.
Engage.
To attract and keep someone's attention and interest, to participate in or obtain services of something.
Examples:
Engage in environmental protection activities. Engage a new employee. Many multinational companies are engaged in the reconstruction of that country.
Rethink.
To consider again a plan, idea, etc., especially to change it.
Examples:
Rethink a marketing plan. Rethink the role of the manager. We have to rethink our company's product lineup for further growth.
Notion.
A general idea or understanding of something, particularly an abstract or complex concept, a belief or opinion, often one that is not based on solid evidence or facts.
Examples:
Notion of success. Vague notion. The notion of time travel has long fascinated scientists and fiction writers alike.
Institutional.
Of, in, or relating to a large important organization, such as a university or bank, organized as or forming part of the standard systems, practices, etc.
Examples:
Institutional bank. Address institutional constraints. We have to discuss the institutional reforms of our country.
Combination.
A collection of things that have been combined, an assemblage of separate parts or qualities.
Examples:
Genic combinations. Combination number. The combination to the safe was a secret.
Security.
The state of being free from danger, risk, or harm, measures taken to protect against threats or attacks, a financial asset, such as a stock or bond that derives value exclusively from the ownership interest or claim to a particular underlying asset or obligation.
Examples:
National security. Security analyst. The building's security system includes cameras, alarms, and security guards.
Pose.
To present a risk, problem, or other issues that must be addressed.
Examples:
Pose a significant threat to my company. Pose a challenge. The chemicals pose a massive health risk.
Degree.
A unit of measurement for angles, temperature, or level of proficiency or achievement, a rank or level of academic or professional attainment.
Examples:
Bachelor's degree. Degree centigrade. She received her degree in psychology from the university.
pH.
A measure of the acidity or alkalinity of a substance, on a scale of 0 to 14, with 7 being neutral, lower values indicating greater acidity, and higher values indicating greater alkalinity.
Examples:
pH value of 7. pH scale. The pH level of this soil is too acidic for these types of plants.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Multimodal.
Involving or using several ways of communication or expression.
Examples:
Multimodal input device. Multimodal approach. The multimodal transportation system included trains, buses, and bikes.
Inherit.
To receive money, property, or a title from someone after they have died.
Examples:
Inherit estate. Inherit ancestral property. After his death, his sons inherited his business.
Educational.
Relating to education or providing knowledge or instruction.
Examples:
Educational system. Elevate educational standards. The museum offers a variety of educational programs for children and adults.
Formation.
The way something is created naturally, or the way it has been arranged.
Examples:
A rock formation. Formation flight. Character formation is one of the goals of education.
Absolute.
Perfect or complete, or to the most considerable degree possible.
Examples:
Absolute loyalty. An absolute must. Gandhi had an absolute zeal for nonviolence.
Population.
The total number of people in a country, region, or location.
Examples:
Population change. Labor population. In just 4 years, the population has doubled.
Enfranchise.
To grant or give someone the right to vote or participate in some other activity or privilege, to free from bondage or servitude.
Examples:
Enfranchise voters. Enfranchise citizens. The civil rights movement fought to enfranchise marginalized groups in society.
Solver.
A thinker who finds an answer to a problem or a difficult situation, a piece of software or the algorithm that solves a mathematical problem.
Examples:
Puzzle solver. Linear solver. The flow solver is validated against the experiment.
Engaging.
Attracting, pleasant, or charming.
Examples:
Engaging story. An engaging smile. She was disbarred for her engaging in fraud.
Corruption.
Dishonest, harmful, or illegal behavior, especially of people in positions of power.
Examples:
Corruption accusation. Federal corruption charges. Rampant corruption led to a loss of trust in the government.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples:
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Selfish.
Concerned primarily with one's profit or pleasure without regard for others, forming or arising from a person's self or interest.
Examples:
Selfish motive. Selfish desire. His selfish ambition caused him to step on others to climb the corporate ladder.
Immediate.
Happening or done without delay or occurring shortly after something else.
Examples:
Take immediate effect. The immediate past. Both forts were subject to immediate attacks.
Operate.
To work in a particular way, to supervise something.
Examples:
Operate 24 hours a day. Manually operate a machine. This machine is too difficult to operate for me.
Regard.
To think about or consider somebody or something in a specified way.
Examples:
Regard him as an enemy. Regard the situation as unfortunate. Frugality and industry are still regarded as virtues.
Dam.
A wall constructed over a river to block the flow of water, mainly used to generate energy.
Examples:
Dam building program. Dam collapsing. The break in the dam threatened the valley.
Electrify.
To make a machine or system work by using electricity, to make someone extremely enthusiastic about or interested in something.
Examples:
Electrify the audience. Electrify a manufacturing process. The product developed through years of research continues to electrify the market.
Revisit.
To go to a place again, especially after a long period.
Examples:
Revisit a place. Revisit an old friend. We need to revisit this proposal as soon as the budget is more apparent than before.
Imaginary.
Existing only in someone's mind.
Examples:
Imaginary number. Imaginary pregnancy. Little children tend to have imaginary friends.
Meme.
A cultural idea, value, or pattern of behavior that is passed from one generation to another by imitation rather than genetic means, as an internet meme, an image, a video, a piece of text, etc., that is remixed, copied, and circulated in a shared cultural experience online.
Examples:
Pronounce meme. Religious meme. This cute dog's photo spread around the world as an internet meme.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Paradigm.
A standard or typical example of something, a pattern or model.
Examples:
Major paradigm shift. Cultural paradigm. He postulated a completely different paradigm to explain all these phenomena.
Intersection.
A point where two or more roads, lines, etc., cross each other.
Examples:
Busy intersection. The intersection of coordinate axes. Take a right turn at the next intersection.
Breakthrough.
A sudden, dramatic, and important discovery or development that helps to improve a situation or provide an answer to a problem.
Examples:
Breakthrough in the negotiations. Breakthrough discovery. A technique called deep learning has led to breakthroughs in AI.
Empower.
To give someone the power or authority to do something.
Examples:
Empower my life. Empower the secretary to do the same. The company empowered employees to buy low-price items without approval to achieve efficient purchasing.
Minister.
A person appointed to or a job of a head of a government department.
Examples:
Minister for Education. Deputy Prime Minister. The minister occasionally preaches at this church.
Agenda.
A list or outline of things to be done, discussed, or considered.
Examples:
Agenda setting. Ambitious agenda. The agenda for the meeting includes discussions on the budget and new project proposals.
Flourish.
To grow or develop vigorously or successfully.
Examples:
Flourish economically. Flourish worldwide. The Ottoman Empire flourished for over 5 centuries.
Scare.
To frighten a person or animal, or to become frightened.
Examples:
Scare off her attacker by screaming. Scare the birds away. We hit the ground to scare out the rabbits.
Engagement.
A mutual promise to marry someone, an agreement to do something, especially at a particular time.
Examples:
A prior engagement. break off an engagement. They selected a gorgeous diamond engagement ring.
Unconventional.
Not following traditional or commonly accepted beliefs, practices, or customs, not conforming to established norms or standards.
Examples:
In an unconventional manner. Unconventional ideas. Her unconventional approach to teaching has been a hit with the students. Globalization. The process by which economies, societies, and cultures around the world become increasingly integrated and interconnected through the rapid exchange of goods, services, ideas, and people across international borders. Examples: The rapid pace of globalization. Globalization trend. The spread of popular culture worldwide is an example of cultural globalization. Compress. To press or squeeze together to make something take up less space. Examples: Compress the chest. Compress gas. She compressed the files into a single zip archive to save space on her computer. Expand. To increase or to make something greater in size, number, or importance. Examples: Expand a lineup. Expand agricultural output. They hope to expand their business worldwide. Conceivable. Imaginable or possible to understand or believe in the mind. Examples: Conceivable way. Conceivable emergency. It is challenging to defend every conceivable target. Recognize. To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered. Examples: Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses. Meaningful. Having meaning, function, or purpose, serious, significant, or worthwhile. Examples: A meaningful outcome. Make the accord meaningful. She cast a meaningful glance at me. Immense. Extremely large or great. Examples: Immense amount. Immense pressure. He left his wife an immense fortune. Brutal. Harsh or cruel. Examples: Brutal bully. Brutal honesty. The brutal attack left the victim with serious injuries. Continuous. Occurring or existing without a pause or interruption. Examples: Continuous improvement. A continuous row of warehouses. The heavy snow has been continuous since last morning.
Literally.
In the real or original meaning of a word or phrase, in a literal sense or way, not figuratively.
Examples.
Translate literally. Bite his tongue literally. He literally jumped out of his chair when he heard the news.
Terror.
Intense fear, a state of intense fear or alarm.
Examples.
Terror attack. Terror group. The bomb blast spread terror among the people.
Bomb.
A weapon that explodes and is used to kill or injure people or to cause damage to something.
Examples.
Atomic bombs. Disarm the bomb. The use of cluster bombs is strictly prohibited by international law.
Existence.
The state or fact of someone or something existing.
Examples.
The biggest tree in existence. The struggle for existence. He was an atheist and therefore did not believe in the existence of heaven or hell.
Terrorism.
The use of violence to attain political or religious goals or to compel a government to act.
Examples.
Terrorism against civilians. Anti-terrorism bill. Democracy is utterly opposed to any form of terrorism.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples.
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Instance.
A particular example or single occurrence of something.
Examples.
For instance. Notable instance. These articles cite 5 instances of climate change.
Intelligence.
The ability to learn, comprehend, or make judgments or conclusions based on reasons.
Examples.
An intelligence test. Field of artificial intelligence. In terms of intelligence, he was head and shoulders above his classmates.
Resistance.
The act of defending oneself from an aggressor or refusing to accept something.
Examples.
Resistance movement. Resistance to insulin. The bill to increase the consumption tax had passed despite much resistance from the public.
Urban.
Relating to or located in a town or city.
Examples.
Urban planning. Urban property owners. Only a small number of urban utilities offer sanitation services.
Instrument.
An object used to make musical sounds, such as a piano, guitar, or drum, a tool or device used for a specific activity, particularly in specialist or scientific work.
Examples:
musical instruments, surgical instruments. This electronic instrument is required to undergo periodic inspections to ensure precision.
Donkey.
A domesticated mammal related to the horse, similar in appearance, but with longer ears and a shorter mane, a foolish or stupid person.
Examples:
male donkey, donkey ride. The little boy rode the donkey at the county fair.
Erupt.
Of a volcano, to become active and eject rocks, smoke, etc., to start abruptly and violently.
Examples:
erupt in anger, erupt into tears. Battles between whites and blacks erupted immediately.
Legacy.
Something that is handed down from an earlier generation or time, often something that has had a significant impact on subsequent generations. A bequest made by a person in their will, often money or property.
Examples:
financial legacy, cultural legacy. Her legacy as a philanthropist will live on for generations to come.
Incredibly.
In a way that is very difficult to believe, exceedingly or extremely.
Examples:
incredibly cheerful character. Get incredibly insecure. Several cities are experiencing incredibly high unemployment rates.
Standing.
Existing or remaining upright, having a vertical position, noun, social, financial, or professional status or reputation.
Examples:
standing water. His social standing. The standing concert was packed with fans.
Chant.
A simple melody or tune, typically one that is repeated or sung in a monotonous way. Verb, recite with musical intonation.
Examples:
chant melodies. Chant in the chapel. The soccer game crowd broke into a chant of "Go, team, go."
Discourse.
Any form of communication in speech or writing.
Examples:
hold discourse with him. A discourse about art. Sweet discourse makes short days and nights.
Sophistication.
The quality or state of having a great deal of worldly experience, the quality or state of being intellectually or culturally refined.
Examples:
cultural sophistication. Linguistic sophistication. The new technology added a level of sophistication to the manufacturing process.
Dare.
To have the courage to do something.
Examples:
dare not go. Dare to take risks. I wouldn't dare to speak to him like that.
Sophisticated.
Having a great deal of worldly experience and knowledge of people's behavior, culture, and fashion.
Examples:
Sophisticated look. A sophisticated lifestyle. Marketing strategies are growing more sophisticated.
Rural.
Of or relating to the countryside.
Examples:
Rural accents. People in rural areas. Many rural areas are still impoverished.
Bulk.
The quantity or size of something that is very large, the main part of something.
Examples:
Buy in bulk. Bulk data transfer. I received a parcel of great bulk.
Predominant.
Having control, authority, or influence that is greater than that of others, prevailing or vastly more abundant than others of the same kind.
Examples:
Predominant color. A predominant species. In this office, teamwork is the predominant factor in achieving success.
Abandon.
To leave a place, thing, or person with no intention of returning. Noun, a feeling of extreme emotional intensity.
Examples:
Abandon a friend. Abandon the practice. The castle was abandoned several years later.
Intern.
To put someone in prison, especially for political or military reasons. Noun, a student or trainee who works, sometimes for free, to get work experience or to fulfill qualification criteria.
Examples:
Intern civilians. Medical intern. The Navy interned ships of defeated nations.
Absolutely.
Without restriction or limitation, completely or utterly.
Examples:
Absolutely against. Absolutely obsessed with the girl. I am absolutely opposed to his idea because of morality.
Desire.
A strong feeling of wanting to have or do something.
Examples:
Unsatisfied desire. Fleshly desire. Low sexual desire typically correlates with low testosterone levels.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Nationalist.
Relating to or supporting a political ideology that emphasizes a strong sense of national identity and devotion to one's own country.
Examples:
Nationalist sentiment. Nationalist revolt. The nationalist rally attracted thousands of supporters.
Separate.
To force, take, or pull apart, mark as different.
Examples:
Separate video into chapter. Separate cream from milk. We need to separate the aspect of his personality from the part of his competence when making an investment decision.
Advisory.
Giving advice or suggestions on a particular matter, having the function of providing recommendations or guidance.
Examples:
Advisory committee. Environmental advisory. The travel agent provided advisory services to the clients.
Province.
The territory occupied by one of the constituent administrative districts of a nation.
Examples:
Bengal province. Home province. A network of railways has developed over the province.
Ordinary.
Not different, exceptional, or unexpected in any way, especially in quality, ability, size, or degree.
Examples:
An ordinary school. Ordinary annual revenue. The ordinary session of the Diet opened.
Recite.
To say a poem, piece of literature, etc. aloud from memory.
Examples:
Recite a charm. Recite a long list of the article. He could recite all of Shakespeare's works.
Illiterate.
Unable to read or write, lacking knowledge in a particular field.
Examples:
Illiterate population. Illiterate adult. He was illiterate and could not read the instructions.
Alternative.
One of two or more available possibilities or choice.
Examples:
An alternative plan. There is no other alternative. Doctors are gradually coming around to the idea of using alternative medicines.
Eradicate.
To get rid of or destroy something completely, especially something bad.
Examples:
Eradicate the deficit. Eradicate racial discrimination. We are trying to eradicate this disease from the world.
Innovative.
Introducing or using new methods, ideas, etc.
Examples:
Use of innovative technology. Stylistically innovative works. The Prime Minister stressed the need to create innovative industries.
Capita.
A Latin word meaning head, used to express the amount for each person, any head or head-like expansion on a structure, as on a bone.
Examples:
Per capita sales. The agricultural yield per capita. GDP per capita shrunk by almost 10% for the third consecutive year.
Textile.
Any type of cloth made by weaving or felting or knitting.
Examples:
textile production, tissue textiles. China's textile industry has developed rapidly with the input of foreign capital.
Aid.
Things sent to help countries in need, notably food or money, support.
Examples:
financial aid, country-by-country aid programs. Pakistan's aid budget was still being reviewed.
Tariff.
A tax imposed by a government on imported or exported goods.
Examples:
tariff policy, tariff war. The new tariff on imported goods has sparked controversy among trade partners.
Compete.
To strive to achieve more success than someone or something.
Examples:
compete against a friend, compete fiercely. You must compete with others to obtain this position.
Attract.
To draw or entice someone or something towards them through the qualities they have, especially positive ones.
Examples:
attract attention, attract customers. The government is eager to attract international investment.
Probable.
Likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
probable outcome, probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Sector.
A distinct part or division of something, often used to refer to a segment of an economy or industry, an area or field of work or activity.
Examples:
industrial sector, private sector. The technology sector is constantly evolving and innovating.
Cotton.
A plant that is grown in warm countries and bears bolls containing seeds with soft and long hairs that are made into textile fiber and thread for sewing.
Examples:
cotton cloth, culture of cotton. The price of raw cotton continued to rise.
Opioid.
Substances that have an effect similar to opium, such as morphine, used in medicines to treat severe pain, but some people take them illegally for pleasure and become addicted.
Examples:
an opioid analgesic, opioid receptor. Treatment for opioid dependence may be a long-term process.
Chain.
A series of connected links or objects, a system or group of interconnected elements, a restraint or shackle.
Examples:
chain reaction, supply chain. The chain on my bike broke, leaving me stranded.
Microcredit.
Small loans, typically less than $50,000, given to individuals or groups, particularly those who lack access to traditional banking services, to start or expand small businesses or other income-generating activities.
Examples:
Microcredit lender, microcredit program. The government has established a microcredit scheme to stimulate entrepreneurship and create job opportunities.
Micro.
Extremely small in scale or scope, 1/1,000,000th.
Examples:
Micro bubble, micro force sensor. This approach employs both micro and macro analysis methods.
Charity.
An organization that helps people in need, especially by providing food, shelter, or money, a kindly and sympathetic attitude toward people.
Examples:
Charity work. Ask charity. She volunteers at a local charity every weekend to help those in need.
Bazaar.
Marketplace, especially one in the Middle East.
Examples:
A charity bazaar, a church bazaar. The bazaar market was filled with colorful stalls selling goods from all over the world.
Foreigner.
A person who is not a citizen or national of the country they are in, someone from a different country, culture, or origin.
Examples:
Foreigner visa, unknown foreigner. She faced some challenges as a foreigner in the business world, but was soon respected for her expertise.
Bloody.
Covered in or smeared with blood, involving or characterized by bloodshed or brutality.
Examples:
Bloody massacre, bloody diarrhea. The crime scene was bloody and gruesome.
Embroider.
To decorate or embellish a fabric or piece of clothing with ornamental or colorful designs using needlework. To add fictitious or exaggerated details to a story or account.
Examples:
Embroider a dress, embroider a cushion. She chose to embroider her initials onto the scarf as a personal touch.
Partnership.
The state of a cooperative relationship between people or groups, especially in business.
Examples:
Partnership across the Atlantic. Establish a partnership. The military partnership between the two countries created tension in the international community.
Firm.
Resolute or unwavering in decision-making or action, strong or secure in structure, make or composition, reliable, trustworthy, or dependable. Noun, a business or company.
Examples:
Firm grip. Accounting firm. The firm deadline for submitting the project is tomorrow, so we need to work efficiently to finish on time.
Economical.
Providing a satisfactory return on the money, time, or effort, not using more money, fuel, etc. than necessary.
Examples:
Economical use of her time. An economical meal. It is more economical to wash your plastic bottle and reuse it.
Vision.
The ability to think about or see the future with imagination and intelligence, the faculty of being able to see.
Examples.
A prodigious vision. Telescopic vision. Driving is difficult for me because of my poor vision.
Persuade.
To convince or induce someone to do something by presenting a reason or argument, to sway or influence someone's decision or opinion.
Examples.
Attempt to persuade. Persuade a hijacker to surrender. She tried to persuade her brother to join her on the trip.
Judgment.
The ability to form valuable opinions and make reasonable decisions.
Examples.
An emotional judgment. Deliver a judgment. Her judgments are consistently rational and sensible.
Dynamic.
Having a lot of energy, ideas, and enthusiasm and a strong personality, of or relating to dynamics, equals the branch of physics and engineering concerned with the forces that cause motions of bodies.
Examples.
A dynamic market. Dynamic person. The sprinter has a dynamic way of running.
Generate.
To produce or create something, to make offspring by reproduction.
Examples.
Generate more electricity. Generate $100 a month. The economic stimulation program would generate a lot of new jobs.
Conditional.
Depending on a specific condition or circumstance, imposed or subject to certain conditions or restrictions.
Examples.
Conditional offer. Conditional release. The conditional statement in the program tells the computer what to do next.
Attach.
To fasten, join, or connect one thing to another.
Examples.
Attach firmly. Attach a file to an email. He does not attach importance to these rumors.
Entrepreneur.
An individual who creates or invests in one or more businesses, especially when this involves taking financial risks.
Examples.
A successful entrepreneur. Billionaire entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs willingly accept business risks to achieve success.
Subsidize.
To pay part of the cost of something to support an organization, activity, etc. financially.
Examples.
Subsidize the project. Subsidize the cost. Governments subsidize renewable energy generation in various ways.
Vis-a-vis.
Face to face with, in relation to or in comparison with.
Examples:
discuss vis-a-vis, compare vis-a-vis. She addressed the audience vis-a-vis the importance of sustainability.
Examine.
To study or consider a person or object attentively and thoroughly to learn something about them.
Examples:
examine the data studiously. Examine the issue. Initially, we must examine all project-related expenses.
Credible.
Capable of being trusted or believed.
Examples:
credible source. A credible story. They didn't have any credible evidence of his innocence.
Harsh.
Severe and unkind, extremely tough and unpleasant to inhabit.
Examples:
harsh climate. Use of harsh chemicals. The Prime Minister faced harsh criticism.
Counterpart.
A person or thing that corresponds to or has the same function as another person or thing.
Examples:
counterpart agreement. Negotiating counterpart. His counterpart in the other company is responsible for marketing.
Define.
To state or explain precisely the nature, scope, or meaning of something.
Examples:
define a word. Define my position. To advance this discussion, we must define success rigorously.
Progression.
The act or process of changing to the next stage or phase or moving forward.
Examples:
progression of civilization. Progression of disease. The company has made great strides in its progression towards sustainability.
Domestic.
Relating to or inside a particular country, not foreign or international.
Examples:
domestic airline. A domestic animal. GDP stands for gross domestic product.
Revenue.
The income that a government receives from taxes or that a company earns from its business.
Examples:
tax revenue. Annual revenue. This graph indicates the city's tourism revenue over 5 years.
Generation.
All the people born and living at about the same time, regarded collectively, the production of heat or electricity.
Examples:
generation gap. The generation of electricity. The younger generation has different values and beliefs than the older one.
Compact.
Closely and firmly united or packed together, using very little space, smaller than is usual.
Examples:
a compact camera. Extremely compact device. Two countries acted together as if by compact.
Sustain.
To supply enough of what somebody or something needs in order to survive or exist, to accept as valid.
Examples:
Sustain a good relationship with him. Sustain a wellness lifestyle. She struggled to sustain the children's reading habits.